The transatlantic slave trade was a terrible part of history. It happened over 400 years ago. European ships took millions of Africans across the Atlantic Ocean. These people were then sold as slaves in the Americas. They were forced to work on farms, in mines, and in homes. This trade was very cruel. People were treated like objects, not human beings. Families were torn apart, never to see each other again. The journey across the ocean was horrific. Many died from disease and starvation. The slave trade began because of greed. Europeans wanted to make money from growing crops in the Americas, like sugar and cotton. They needed many workers for their large farms, called plantations. At first, they tried to use Native Americans, but many died from diseases brought from Europe. Europeans saw an opportunity to make money by taking people from Africa and forcing them to work. They believed Africans were stronger and could survive the harsh conditions. This belief was wrong and incredibly racist. Sadly, this desire for profit led to the enslavement of millions. The transatlantic slave trade involved many countries. European countries like Portugal, Spain, Britain, France, and the Netherlands were the main traders. They built forts on the coast of Africa. Here, they traded goods like guns, cloth, and alcohol for African people. African rulers and traders also played a role. Some participated in the trade for their gain, exchanging captives of war or others for European goods. It is important to remember that many Africans resisted the slave trade bravely. The journey from Africa to the Americas was called the Middle Passage. It was a terrifying experience. Enslaved Africans were chained together below deck. The conditions were awful, with little fresh air, light, or food. Many people died from disease, starvation, or despair. Those who survived the journey arrived in the Americas weak and traumatized. They were then sold to the highest bidder and forced to work on plantations or in other industries. Life for enslaved Africans in the Americas was full of hardship. They were forced to work long hours in terrible conditions. They received little to no pay and had no rights. Their lives were controlled by their enslavers. Despite these hardships, enslaved Africans found ways to resist. They held on to their cultures through music, storytelling, and religion. Their resilience and strength helped them endure unimaginable cruelty. The transatlantic slave trade was abolished in the 19th century, but its effects are still felt today. It has left a legacy of racism and inequality that continues to affect our world. We must remember this dark chapter in history. It reminds us to fight against all forms of injustice. By learning about the past, we can work to create a fairer and more equal future for everyone.